Hey guys, welcome to Spooky Witches UK. Today I am telling you the story of the Beijing ghost bus, otherwise known as the last bus to Fragrant Hill. So, on November 14th, 1995, at midnight, the last bus of the night was pulling out of the station and its last stop was Fragrant Hill. Now, the only people that were on the bus were the driver and the female conductor. And it was a cold night, obviously. November. Like, it's not going to be warm. And it was very windy. After a while of driving, like, at the south gate next to Summer Place, 4 passengers. So, yeah. So, at the south gate next to Summer Place, 4 passengers boarded the bus. There was a young gentleman, an old lady, this bloody lid won't go on, and a young couple. They all got on the bus. So the young couple sat on one side, the young man and the old lady sat on the other. So it was an extremely quiet night, obviously. It's just after midnight. Like, there was no other vehicles on the road. And obviously there was nobody about. The driver then sees some shadows on the side of the road flagging the bus down. So he pulls over, lets the other passengers on. Now, 3 men got on the bus. 2 of them were propping up a third guy, who had his head bowed. You couldn't see his face. It just wasn't visible. However, these gentlemen were all wearing traditional Chinese robes from the Qing dynasty, and the faces were deathly pale. So these guys are getting on the bus, and they started to make everybody nervous. Like, the other passengers kept glancing at each other. They couldn't relax. The female conductor had tried to calm them down, basically saying that they were probably actors who had forgotten to take off the costumes and obviously gone out and had a drink and gotten drunk. However, this didn't calm anybody down. The old lady kept glancing behind her, and after a couple more stops, the young couple got off, and it was then that the old lady started hitting the young man and saying that he'd stolen from her, and making a big fuss, like a big scene, to which obviously the young man started arguing back. She then grabbed him by the back of his collar and demanded that the driver let them off at the next stop so that she could take him to the police station. So at the next stop, the old lady and the young man, they get off the bus, and he asks her where the police station is. She replied that there was no police station and that she'd just saved his life. So obviously, in shock, he asked how she'd just saved his life. And she said that she had suspicions about the 3 gentlemen that had gotten on the bus. And as she was glancing behind, the wind's blown through a window or whatever, and she realised they had no legs. So, she told the young man this. He's obviously in shock. She then phoned the police station to report what she'd just seen. Now, this is where the story takes a turn. So, the bus that they were on, bus 375, the last bus to Fragrant Hill, failed to report to the station the next morning. And it had vanished, with not only the driver, but also the female conductor. So, obviously everybody is wondering what the hell had happened to this bus. So the police searched everywhere, and they could not find it. Not find it anywhere. So they then questioned the young man and the old woman because they were the last two to get off the bus. And they were telling their stories, but the police dismissed them, saying that they were mentally ill. So the Beijing news covered the story and they interviewed both the young man and the old lady. Right, so 2 days later, the police actually find the bus, and it is in a reservoir which was about 100 kilometres or so away from Fragrant Hill. So they pulled the bus out of the river, and inside they found the badly decomposed bodies of the driver, the female conductor, and an unidentified male. However, the mysteries that surround this case are the following. The bus didn't have enough gas to make it to the reservoir. So they opened the tank, and upon opening it, they discovered that it was filled with blood. That would do it. The second mystery is that the bodies were found 2 days later, so there was no way the bodies could have been as decomposed as they were. Even in summer, like in that time frame, they would not have decomposed that fast. A coroner's report states that there was no intentional meddling with the bodies, so like no foul play. So how did they decompose so fast? So the police then did an investigation and checked every security camera leading up to the reservoir, and the bus was not seen on any of them. Not a single one. There was nothing out of the ordinary at all, so how did the bus get there? And it remains a mystery to this day. So that is one version that I'd found on the internet. You can find many, many more. Just go onto Google and type in Beijing Ghost Bus. I recommend you do, because they are so good to read. I actually enjoy telling you a ghost story for once. But yeah, if you want to check it out, just head on to Google. Thank you for joining me today, guys, and I love you all, and as always, stay spooky, witches!